Don't want to wait for the easy way? All right, we will wait longer for the official way. I work as on-site IT for a company, handling user-end hardware and networking issues. Most of my calls are the usual user error or just turn it off and on again type. It can be mind-numbing at times, but I genuinely enjoy it. However, the bane of my existence, like many IT folks, is printers. One day I received a call from an office at the far end of campus. Bundling up, I grabbed my tools and made the trek over. When I arrived, the urgency was palpable. The staff was in a panic, claiming they desperately needed the printer. But only 3 out of 12 employees were in the office that day due to the cold, and they had multiple printers available. I did my best to fix the issue. I cleaned the printer, changed the rollers, and checked the settings, but it just wouldn't cooperate. After a frustrating struggle, I informed the woman who called that I would need to replace it. She was understandably upset, so I headed back to the shop to get a new printer ready. Once I had the replacement set up and working, I returned to the office, only to discover that the Ethernet cable had fallen behind a heavy filing cabinet. The wall plate it was plugged into was right in the middle of this 6-foot cabinet. There was no way for me to reach it, and the cabinet was too heavy for me to move alone. When I explained the situation, the user became frantic. Apparently, this was the only printer they could use, and it was the closest one to her. I reassured her that I could set up her computer to print to another nearby printer, and promised to return the next day with a tool to retrieve the cable. She insisted we call property management to move the cabinet immediately. I informed her that their turnaround time was typically 24 hours, unless it was an emergency, and they were only on call during weekends. Reluctantly, I called them on my mobile and put it on speaker. I managed to catch someone before they left for the day. He confirmed that they wouldn't be able to get to it until Tuesday at the earliest. I could hear the keyboard clicking and some light-hearted banter in the background. When he asked if I wanted to plug in the cable myself, I stifled a chuckle, knowing he was more than capable of doing that. The user looked stunned, as if she had just been hit with a reality check. The property management guy assured us they would come by Tuesday unless something urgent came up, and then he hung up. I turned to the user and said, "Well, that works for us in IT. I'll remove the old printer, and once property management confirms everything is done, we'll have a tech come by to ensure the new printer is working properly." Back at the shop, I shared the story with my fellow tech, and we had a good laugh about it. I called property management to cancel the request, letting them know I would bring my grabber tool the next day to retrieve the cable. They decided to wait until Monday to cancel, since doing so would trigger an email notification to the user. The next day, I successfully retrieved the cable with my tool, secured it back in place, and plugged it into the printer. Thankfully, everything worked perfectly, and I was able to close out the ticket.